Hi, Pluto. How are you? Tell me if the music's too loud or too quiet. Let's get started, shall we? It's been a while since I've been on Sky. At least on stream. So let's see what's up. Oh, I like the shaking. The shaking is peak. I had a very interesting day today. I have a new phone. Weirdly, it's kind of given me iPhone face when I use it as a webcam, and I don't know why that is. I just look different. Alright, let's see. Hello, sir. I'll talk to you in a second. I just saw an advertisement for an article about a Canadian hockey murder trial. Canada, are you okay? No judgment if you're not. I don't think most of the world's okay right now. Why is Sky so great? Oh, that's fascinating. That's really interesting. It's not gray at all. On my screen. Why is the grass black? Hello, Vanis. Interesting. This is a very interesting visual bug. The grass is not dead. Oh, hello. Oh, wow. It's nice to meet you. That is so pretty. I kind of feel like we should keep it. What is happening right now? What do you guys think? Should we try to fix the grass or should we just see what happens? I kind of like it, I'm not gonna lie. This is fascinating. POV, it's spooky season, and the grass got spooky first. Valley of Triumph dailies. These are my favorite dailies, you know. I used to have a friend where my favorite round to run is... Oh. Hello, Eden. How you feeling? Whoa. Shards. Well, that was cool. Here's Pluto. Well, this realm looks normal. It's the green. I think specifically the green isn't loading. Let's look at the back of Pluto's head. Well, no, clearly some green is coming in. This is fascinating. If only we had some time to investigate. But it is 5:30. We should have gone to Granny. Someone's just run ahead of us. No idea who they are. Might be Vanis, but not Vanis. I kind of like being able to just switch off everything. The only problem is you can't see when people are typing. None of you get up to mischief while I'm gone. I had the craziest day at work. Okay, so I get to work, right? My phone, when I put it in my purse, has a cracked screen, yes, but a functional one. I get to work, screen no longer working. Now that's fine, I guess, except that I need to use a two-factor authentication code in order to get into my systems at work. So if I don't fix this, I don't get to work today. So I had to go out and ask my boss, like, hey, what do I do? So wound up having to run out and get an unlocked phone. I waited at Walmart for about an hour because there was a family in front of me, and they were super sweet. They weren't taking long because they wanted to. They were taking long because sometimes things just take long. Also, they spoke only Spanish, and so the activation call that he had to do, or the activation stuff that you have to do, is in English. So the guy working the counter was translating, and so it was really interesting. And they taught me how to say, the boy is very cute. So that was very nice. I guess it's technically the boy is very beautiful, but in this context, it's cute. Because they had like a little baby boy. I think I can say it with some accuracy, but it's not how normal people who speak Spanish natively would say it. El niño es muy bonito. I don't know why I'm doing this to signal that the boy is small. Here comes the boy. Hello, boy. Here is the beautiful Tempest. Come here. Tempest. We get to have Tempest on stream. I'm excited. I'm doing all right. How are you? Oh, hold on. I grabbed too quickly. I was too excited. I'm doing well. Streaming. I don't know if Tempest can hear us. But anyway, so after that, I find... Hello, Neville! I finally get to the point where, it's my turn. And they're like, oh, we don't sell unlocked phones. I'm like, why do you have prices for unlocked phones if you don't sell unlocked phones? It's like, oh, that's for something where you can order it like months in advance. It was crazy. So anyway, then I had to go to Best Buy. Hour and a half after I left work, I have to go back. Hello! It's good to see you. And then I realized that I can't just transfer my SIM because my SIM card is an eSIM. And there's no way to access it just without using the screen on my phone. So I'm like, well, what if I use a PC to mirror the screen? And then can't do that because in order to do that, I'd need to pick an option on the phone screen to mirror the screen to PC. So everything me trying to get around is not working. I've spent way too much money on a phone, which I'm probably going to return because it doesn't even work that well. And all of this just to log in, and then I can't log in. So over lunch, I go home so that I can get into my Google Fi account and switch it around. And finally it works. It was a crazy day. Crazy, crazy, crazy day. But my coworkers were very nice to me, and my boss was very nice about it. Speaking of, I should be monitoring the chat in case YouTube has anything to say. I don't think YouTube has anything to say, generally speaking. I don't think I've ever seen YouTube actually oh, my friends are gone. They have died. Rip in pepperonis. There we go. No, you can't. You have to select an option on the phone in order to let it work. So it was a very interesting predicament. My sister tried to help and we couldn't, but we managed to get it working is the important part. I was able to complete my work. I actually feel emotions pretty, like, singularly. When I feel an emotion, it's pretty strong, and that's the only thing I'm feeling at the time. So I feel pure excitement relatively frequently. Oh! I think the last time I felt pure excitement... This is gonna sound so boring, but I had, I taught myself Google Sheets. And automated a really tedious report. That usually takes people like days or weeks to do, and I did it really quick because I made it automatic, and now everyone thinks I'm smart at my job. I'm not smart. But they don't have to know that. Oh, Sunstar is meditating. Why would I warp to someone who is 2 feet in front of me? You look amazing, Pluto. I did, it was very fun. I don't know, guys. Are you able to find the candles at the end of the rainbow? I don't know if I can find them. I really, you know, it's a mystery where they would be. Because, you know, they could be anywhere in the Valley of Triumph. They could go anywhere. I'm not even looking at the screen, by the way. I just did now, but like that's how much I've played this game. And I did skip like one of the little houses down there, but it's not. Taste the rainbow indeed. Valley of Triumph is my favorite. It's got my favorite colors. What's your favorite sky realm? Yeah, I have to say it's not really part of my usual circuit. But it's still my favorite. It's so beautiful. You really see the like color grading and stuff shine through here. Vaults and forest, those are good choices. And forest at night is pretty good. Hey, Rifo. The memorial area is beautiful. The first time I ever went there, I joined somebody. And I didn't know it was a memorial, so I was like honking and making a fuss as I tried to get closer to where she was. And then I'm, you know, making all sorts of noise, and I get to it and it says, Memorial for Don Heim. And I'm like, oh, Oh, okay. Oh no. Wendy, it's so good to see you. You guys are making my day. Yeah, I wasn't sure if I'd feel comfortable getting back on after the incident, but it's good. What's your big decision? Maybe we can help. Decisions. Well, the decision was already made, but... I love seeing the mantas here. There's a Cape exclusive area for this season? I don't think I can go because I haven't done the quests. I've been holding off on the quests because I have a controversial take. I don't like Season of the Two, or I don't like the Two Embers. Or that's not true. I like it. I just don't think it lived up to what I was hoping it was. And here's my take on that. I like Season of the Two Embers in that I like the concept for the show. But it went against canon in how people die. We see how people die. They turn into husks. We see that all over the place. They turn to stone. But they opted for the more grimdark, horrifying body bags option. And they showed animal death on screen, even though throughout the Sky franchise, death has always been very symbolic and artistic and not just done for shock. And it really did feel like it was just done for shock. So while I usually love horror, they didn't execute it well enough as a Sky horror piece. Hello, Edith! Because they wanted it to be very, you know... It didn't feel Sky. I don't dislike it as its own thing. I just don't see it as Sky. And I do feel like they used a lot of, like, really grimdark elements. Instead of doing it tastefully, they just kind of threw them in there for shock value. I liked the scene where she goes and remembers her fallen friend. I thought that was very cute. I'm not even against the scene where her companion dies. It's the gratuitous body bag pileups. It's the even the herd dying, I'm not totally against. It didn't feel like Sky. Yeah, it feels cinematic. And then there's a couple of really big plot holes that I can't ignore. For one thing, and this is the one that got me, in the first episode, we end with her running away because she's stolen this, manatee. And then in the next episode, we see that she's grown up, like, on the same street as the person she stole the manatee from. And I don't know how we're supposed to believe that. Like, how did they not notice? Well, I call Stewie a she, but they are actually non-gendered. Nobody in Sky has gendered. You can project whatever gender onto them you want. Oh, psh, it's recording me. Well, no, because we see that they turn into statues too in Aurora's songs and in like in the Aurora concert and when we light husks. That's not how people die in Sky. What does Kieran? I think that's want. No. Could one of you light Edith so she can come along? I liked it as its own piece, but it didn't do well enough to stand on its own because of things like that. Just really basic plot stuff that was missed, or very basic, like, continuity stuff that was problematic. Yeah, I could see it as an AU. I could go with that. I think it was beautiful. I think the animation was incredibly well done. And I'm really glad it exists because it brought a lot of people together. But it didn't feel like Sky to me. And I don't really want my cozy game to have a bunch of body bags in it when that's not accurate to the lore. I mean, I guess it is now, but it's retconned in a way. But that's my only issue with it. I think the last episode was a masterpiece, though, and it really did feel like Sky. It was really cute watching everyone light up each other. It was cute seeing them interact with the memories, seeing places that we visit in Sky every day. I think that that's beautiful, and I really enjoyed the last episode, and it kind of made the series work for me. Hi, Abby! Everyone grab on. I understand why it's really close to everyone's hearts, and I'm not saying it's bad, it's just not... It didn't live up to my hopes. I feel like for all the justification for, you know, super expensive IAPs and such, for it to turn out that there are really basic plot problems. I do like that Sky generally advocates for balance and strong light and equal darkness, but there's something called tonal dissonance. You've heard of plot armor, when a character can't die because if they did, the plot would not continue. So you can feel secure in that the character will not die. But there's also something called tone armor. A really good example of this, I feel like, is second season of Ruby. Ruby, or RWBY, was, for the first 2 seasons, a very lighthearted show. There were elements of darkness, but, like, it was pretty much very fun and playful. But at the end of the second season, keep in mind, no one's died in this show yet. Multiple characters died, like, on screen. Usually in pretty, like, awful ways. And I never watched the series again. Because, not because I haven't watched series where plenty of people die gruesomely on screen, but because the tone of the show was broken. What I went to that show for, I couldn't go to that show for anymore. Similarly, in Sky, the tone of Sky isn't that people can't die. It's just that it's handled differently. And there are certain elements of the lore that are, you know, not respected by the show. And so it breaks the tone, and there's not enough of it that's good for me. There's other problems in it for me that it doesn't make up for it in its own way. Right, when they break the mold, they lose the niche. It's no longer cozy, but it's not good enough. They didn't go hard enough for it to be grimdark either. And I enjoy grimdark stuff, but they didn't build that up enough for it to work. And then they try to return to the wholesome, sweet stuff, symbolic stuff at the end, which felt more like Sky, and I really enjoyed. But it also breaks from the tone they'd set the previous episode. So the tonal inconsistency is really what ruined it for me, but I still enjoy it. I'm glad I watched it. I hope that their next project, or their next season, is even better, because I think that they can learn a lot from, like, criticism of the current series, and hopefully have a little bit more consistent plot, have a bit better pacing, and, well, no, Sky is not meant to be fully cozy. There's a lot of dark stuff in it, but have a little more consistent tone, consistencies in plots, and a bit better pacing, and I think that it would be 10 out of 10. Yeah, there was a lot in the last episodes that just kind of felt really back and forth, and that goes back to pacing. Hey, Lucky! But I really enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun because I watched it with my best friend. One of my best friends. I really wish I could have had all of them there. I'm doing all right. How are you? I don't know what the next part is, but I'm really excited for it. I know they worked super hard on it, and it really shows. I love the animation. It is so wonderful. But I haven't finished the quest. I just don't want body bags. Honestly, it really is like the body bags thing, because it feels like it doesn't really align with the rest of it, you know? The rest of Sky. Because that in particular is just not canonically how we die. And it's what makes me feel like they were going for what they thought we wanted instead of what would be true to the series. Yeah, I'm really curious about... I really hope it is about what Rush is up to, or Rush was up to. The other thing is they advertised it as a villain worth stopping, a friend worth saving. But you didn't stop the villain or save the friend. Sky is a game about having hope. So once again, ending like that, tonal dissonance. Ooh, tell us your theory. And a dissonance in messaging. And again, I don't dislike the series. I just don't think it was very Sky. I kind of hope he's not bald. That would be funny. I'm really glad that we do get to interact with the spirits more. Overall, I say that Sky is really shifting from the vibe and the tone that it used to be, the themes that it used to have. You know, being in an abandoned ancient kingdom, reliving memories, now the spirits are here every day and interacting with each other, and their stories go on as if they never died. And that's a bit different than... you know, the spirits are dead and we're kind of uncovering their memories. But I actually really enjoy it. It's different and it takes getting used to. But I really enjoy it. What collab season? I haven't seen any announcements for the next season. Overall, I would say that my experience of watching The Two Embers was like watching a thesis film from an animation college. Yes, he can join. Yeah. Hi, B. Grab on, B. Oh, the brother is here, I assume. That's okay. There's a lot of bugs. It'd be kind of interesting if the next one was actually about what happened after. Don't get me wrong, I'm not someone who thinks Sky is all fluff and rainbows. I think that Sky has very beautiful darkness. But the way it handles it, the tone is different. Yeah, the aviary hasn't been introduced yet. So we'll see. It's good to see him. Brothers are always welcome. I really like that. I like that candle eater. That's lovely. I have a twin too. We're actually gonna head home and we're gonna finish up our dailies. Yeah, it looks like in the series the elders are normal sized, so I think that's really interesting too. We already knew that the elders were only huge because it's like kind of symbolic of how we would see them as children, you know. So it's really interesting to see them normally sized. I can't do anything about the ad, I'm sorry. No, I think the elders, we see in the the shard memory that the elders were there when Resh crystalled. I can't describe it in any other way. But I do wonder... I think that my theory is that the Forest Elder used to be more shamanic. It used to be more connected to nature and stuff. And then slowly over time kind of had a Lorax thing going on where they became more and more industrial and willing to exploit the needs of the forest for the needs of mankind. And so that's why we see, like, the beta fox mask is still above her door. But if you look at her symbol on her grave in temple, or her altar in temple, you see that it's an inverted fox. It's flipped upside down. Her little quadruple tails, quintuple tails, they're mimicking a fox ears or like animal ears. It's really interesting. I don't know what I'm supposed to be photographing. Mwah! No, we don't know why they're doing that. That's just, the grass is evil today. We decided to roll with it because why not? But, wait, is the sun evil today? No, sun's not evil today. So at least that light source is not evil. But the grass is evil. We're in evil grass today. Evil grass. I think that's I'm not gonna make that joke. Okay. Home. Yeah, but it's really funny to see all these blurry pictures I've been taken. I mean, not home. Turn in your quest and don't go home, or you'll have to do it again. Wait till sunset if the sun is evil. Yay, floaties! I really like this, building on the lore of what's in the... what goes on in the vault and stuff. I like learning the lore. It's all really well thought out and interesting. Alright, well, my guys, gals, and non-binary pals, that will be it for us today. So, we're gonna pick someone to stream, right? I know exactly who we're raiding. And now, it's time for the moment you've all been waiting for. 1, 2, 3. Ready? Time to raid a stream!